news tonight. Chief medical doctors have been directed to implement an evaluation of medical tools required at health centers. National Housing Corporation NHC enters an agreement to rent a building at Morocco Square to a hotel investor. And in sports, Kasim saved Tanzanian referee to officiate the Under-20 AFCON tournament. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Khadija Zimbwe. First, the national news. The government has directed chief medical doctors in all regions in the country to implement an evaluation of medical tools required from health centers to national level in order to provide good quality services to beneficiaries of health insurance for all once its implementation starts.
Nitumie pia fursa hii kuwataka waganga wakuu wa mikoa yote nchini, kila mmoja afanye tathmini zahanati yake ina vifaa tiba vyote vinavyopaswa kuwepo katika zahanati husika, kituo chake cha afya, hospitali yake ya wilaya, hospitali yake ya rufaa ya mkoa, pamoja na hospitali za kitaifa.
Watanzania wote waone maana na umuhimu wa bima ya afya kwa wote. Tujifunze kuwekeza zaidi katika afya zetu.
Ingekuwa vizuri kama bima hii ingekuwa ikadili na special case yenyewe, regulator pengine wakawa ni wizara wenyewe au kitengo kingine ambacho tunaamini kabisa kitakuwa na umuhimu wa kusimamia na kuliangalia jambo hili la bima ya afya zaidi kuliko kujumuisha na bima ya zingine.
Now, the police force in Beira region has confiscated a consignment of banned cosmetics and vitenge fabrics that were smuggled in the country in a salon car.
Jeshi la polisi lilifanikiwa kukamata gari namba T 948 ASL Toyota.
The police force has managed to arrest Toyota Mark X with registration numbers T948 ASL in possession of wax fabrics and counterfeit cosmetics. In connection with the incident, 2 people were arrested: Yusuf George Jamasi, 38 years, and Frank David Kaseke, 34 years. The suspects were found inside an unregistered factory that produces alcohol. At the crime scene, there were found cartons of alcohol. The National Housing Corporation NHC has entered into an agreement with an investor who will rent a building to run a hotel at Morocco Square that is expected to increase the corporation's revenues.
Mwekezaji alipatikana King Jada Hotels and Apartments Limited. Wao watafanya uwekezaji katika jengo hilo, ni wapangaji, lakini uwekezaji wote wa ndani, iwe ni furnitures, ni machinery, ni majiko na kila kitu, ni wajibu wao na ni wapangaji wa muda mrefu. Lakini kwa National Housing, kwa sababu tupo kibiashara, either tukua tunatafuta mtu ambaye anaweza kapanga au akanunua. Kwa hiyo wana option ya kuendelea kuwa wapangaji lifetime.
Sisi wadau wa National Housing Corporation, basi tuhakikishe tunafuata sheria, tuhakikishe tunafuata taratibu na kanuni zilizowekwa kwa mujibu wa mikataba yetu, lakini pia tuwe mabalozi na wenye mapenzi na kukua kwa shirika hili. Na kukua kwa shirika hili kutatokana na sisi kulipa kodi kwa wakati, na sisi pia kutunza majengo haya ya kibiashara na ya makazi.
The police force in the country has said that it intends to send a formed police unit, FPU, to Mozambique on a peacekeeping mission. This was revealed in Kilimanjaro by the Commissioner of Police for Operations and Training, Awad Haji, at the closing of a training at the Police College in Moshi for police officers expected to participate in the peacekeeping mission in Mozambique.
3, 2.
Kiukweli niwapongeze sana. Vitendo vyote ambavyo mmevionyesha katika haya maeneo ambayo tumepita. Niseme kwa dhati kabisa mmeonyesha umahiri mkubwa.
Na Jeshi la Polisi Tanzania katika misheni hii liliahidi kupeleka askari wa 120 na IPOs, yani individual police officers 39. Kwa sasa kikosi hiki cha utangulizi cha askari 54 kimeendelea na maandalizi ya kupeleka kikosi hiki cha awali ambacho ni advanced part wa kikosi cha operation cha kulinda amani ambacho ni kikosi cha formed unit.
Now, the Minister of Livestock and Fisheries, Mashimba Ndaki, has directed executives involved in disputes between farmers and livestock keepers found to solicit bribes to be dealt with like criminals and have legal action taken against them. The statement by Minister Mashimba Ndaki was made at Olaya Ward in Kilosa District, Morogoro region, after listening to challenges facing farmers and livestock keepers in the ward.
Wao ukikamatwa na kweli umepeleka ng'ombe wako kwenye shamba la mtu, mimi mwenyekiti natamka mbele yako, mwenyekiti wa wafugaji, usinipigie simu.
Livestock keepers chairman, do not call me once you find someone's cattle feeding in a farm. Take them straight to the police station and I shall make sure that law takes its course. Don't take corruption to sell out someone's right. It is not fair. And do not have a blind eye to leaders who does that. They are sources of these conflicts between livestock keepers and farmers. Water is another source. Cattle needs water, and even farmers also need water for their crops. We can't stop cattle from drinking water at the riverbanks, where cultivations has been made. We also want farmers to respect our zones. We also call on the government to help us in getting reliable water sources despite impacts of climate change. 24 children from Lake Zone regions as well as Kenya and Somalia have had surgery to rectify conjoined urinary and rectum tracts by a team of specialists from the United States of America at Bugando Referral Hospital in Mwanza region.
Ya watoto 24 wameshafanywa upasuaji mkubwa, na kati ya hao 24 wawili au watatu upasuaji wake ulikuwa hujawahi kufanyika hapa hata siku moja, kwa sababu ulikuwa ni upasuaji mkubwa, ni matatizo ambayo yalikuwa ni makubwa zaidi. Tulikuwa tujawahi kufanya upasuaji hapa hata siku moja. Letu wataendelea, lakini madaktari bingwa wa Bugando wataendelea kufanya huu upasuaji kwa sababu tayari kwa sasa hivi wameshapata ujuzi na utaalamu.
I've been visiting here since 2015. This is our 7th medical tourism visit to the Bugando Medical Center, and I would just like to say that over the course of the last 8 years, we have made great friendships. We have worked with great surgeons, great nurses, great technicians. But what I've seen happen over the course of this time is the quality of care that Bugando Medical Center is giving to their patients has risen drastically. And it is a great pleasure and excitement for me to watch and see that happen. The care that the children that we see Bugando Medical Center providing to the patients here.
The Minister of State, President's Office for Public Service Management and Good Governance has said that the government will take stern action against conmen who are disseminating false information that public servants found to have fake academic certificates who were removed from the salary payment system will be re-employed.
Katika kipindi cha hivi karibuni kumezuka taarifa kwa umma hii ambayo nimeishika hapa leo, ikiwaarifu watumishi wa umma wote walioondolewa kazini kwa sababu ya vyeti fake.
Recently, the public has been displayed with fake information on informing all civil servants that were removed from office due to fake certificates that the government has decided to return them back to work. Several times, my office has refuted the announcement to the public, but unfortunately, the culprits have went on and on, regardless our statements. This information has stimulated corruption, leaving the concerned people conned by the culprits. Some people have traveled from far places to report back to their offices. This information is contrary to principles of good governance. I'm calling on those behind this to stop right away, although the government is determined to arrest them. The government has entered into a preliminary agreement with ENOC Group, a petroleum company from the United Arab Emirates, which aims to improve availability of petroleum products. That includes offloading, storage and distribution of fuel in order to bring down fuel prices in the country.
Ndoto yetu sisi kwenye uwekezaji huu ni kuanzia milioni 400 mpaka dola milioni 500 kwa yale tunayoyataka, kuanzia kuweka mfumo wa kushusha mafuta, kuyaingiza, kuyahifadhi, matenki, mifumo ya kushusha, kuunganisha na depo nyingine kama eneo kadhaa ya nchi yetu ya kimkakati, Morogoro, Dodoma, Songea. Hiyo uwekezaji tunaotaka, mafuta yawe huko pia.
The National Defense College at Kunduchi area in Dar es Salaam has marked the cultural festival by emphasizing its aim of creating leaders who will strengthen political and economic integration on the African continent.
Siku za usoni tunataka tufanye yawe makubwa. Tunataka ifike sehemu kwa mfano tunaalika lugha mbalimbali.
Tamaduni zetu ziendelee kutuweka pamoja, lakini tamaduni zetu ziendelee kuhimiza umoja na mshikamano, ziendelee kuhimiza mambo mbalimbali, harakati ambazo.
Our customs and traditions should influence different products that will make people united. In such international conference, it should be a stage of using Kiswahili language.
Actually, for the culture is the mean to collect all the people, and all of us who are in the same continent. Africa have a very good culture. It's very similar to Egyptian culture, and to be honest, we are here in Tanzania as Egyptian. We feel like we are among our people, because Tanzanian is very kind, very honest, very good people. So we feel like we are among our people in Egypt. So we are not strangers, we are Tanzanian.
Itaweza kutambua mchango wa chuo hiki na washiriki wanaotoka hapa.
It is important to recognize contribution of this college if graduates will be used effectively in African countries, especially Tanzania. And that is the end of national news. International news follows up next. Welcome back, and in international news. The United Nations peacekeeping mission in Democratic Republic of Congo has condemned an offensive by M23 rebels in the east of country that forced 450 people, including women and children, to seek refuge around its base in the Kishanga town. The attack in Kishanga as a new offensive by rebels who have seized areas of Eastern DRC's North Kivu province in a rapid onslaught since May that threatened the provincial capital, Goma. The armed uprising has inflamed regional tensions with DRC, causing neighbor Rwanda of backing and sponsoring the Tutsi-led rebellion. Now, United Nations experts and the European Union have accused Rwanda of backing the M23. The government of Rwanda has denied any involvement. Now, moving on, the United States military has carried out an operation that killed a senior ISIS leader in northern Somalia. A statement by U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin said Bilal al-Sudani, a U.S. designated ISIS leader in Somalia and key facilitator for ISIS's global network, was killed in the operation. In 2012, al-Sudani was sanctioned by the U.S. Department of Treasury for his role in facilitating financing for foreign fighters to travel to an al-Shabaab training camp. And that is the end of international news. Business news follows up next after the break. Welcome back, and in business news tonight. The government has officially launched distribution of fertilizer to various regions in the country in time for the planting season that will be implemented by Tanzania Fertilizer Company.
Milioni 361.
Over 300 billion shillings was channeled in irrigation activities by constructing new schemes and even renovate previous schemes.
Nakuja na miradi mingine mikubwa.
TFC imedhamiria kwa sasa kutatua tatizo la usambazaji wa mbolea.
TFC is determined to solve the problem of fertilizer distribution from towns to farms and villages. The Indian High Commissioner in Tanzania, Binaya Srikanta Pradhan, has said that trade between India and Tanzania is expected to grow this year by $6 billion due to new investments and exports from Tanzania that include avocados.
See, a new high this year will be having about $6 billion of bilateral trade. And if we talk about investment, I'm really happy to see that 2022 saw several new investment coming in. I would like to thank the government, Ministry of Industry and Trade. I would like to thank Her Excellency President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan for the economic reforms, for bringing ease in doing business, which is being noticed by Indian business sector. As you know, in India, most of the business sector is private sector driven, and I'm happy that they are noticing the reform here under the leadership of
Tanzania Chamber of Commerce, TCCIA in Dar es Salaam, has launched a sustainable business program that aims to enable members access information on trade, markets, as well as registration of new members. This is the first edition, although we shall have new editions in every quarter of the year. Information provided is reliable and accurate in giving out trade directions, and the magazine will act as a reminder to traders that the Institute is there to help them. And that is the end of business news. Sports news follows up shortly. Welcome back, and in sports news tonight, the referees committee in the country has said that selection of Tanzanian referee Kasim Saif to officiate the Under-20 African tournament is a good indication for Tanzania to get more football referee opportunities in international competitions.
Kwanza nakupongezeni sana ITV kwa kufuatilia swala la waamuzi, na raundi hizi tulizomaliza sasa hivi kama kamati ya waamuzi tumekaa, na kila tukikaa raundi inapokwisha tunatathmini, na mpaka sasa hivi tunaona tunaenda vizuri, na nahisi kabisa hii ni sababu ya wadau wote wa soka tumejiunga pamoja kuhakikisha kwamba soka linafanywa maamuzi uwanjani.
Now, Kopko Football Club from Mwanza that is participating in the Azam Federation Cup on Saturday will play against host KMC FC at the Uhuru Stadium in Dar es Salaam for a spot in the group of stage of the competition. Now, moving on, following successful men's bench soccer league last year, preparations are underway to start the women's beach soccer league at Coco Beach in Dar es Salaam.
Hivi soon ligi ya wanawake itakaposimama, basi tutakuwa na ufunguzi rasmi wa soka la ufukweni kwa upande wa wanawake ambao tutalifanya katika viwanja vya Coco Beach, lakini mwishoni mwa mwezi wa pili au mwanzoni mwa mwezi wa tatu tutakuwa tunarudi kwenye ligi yetu.
Now, the National Sports Council NSC has called on sports clubs in the country participating in the ministry and government institutions games Shimiwi to register their clubs so that they could conduct sports operations according to laws and procedures of the country. Sports club have announced Amani Kajula as their new CEO.
The former Simba leader has signed a 6-month contract at Msimbazi Club as their new CEO. He takes over from Barbara Gonzalez, who stepped down in December 10th last year. Before joining Simba, Kajula was the executive director of EAG Marketing and Communication Group since 2013. He was also in the organizing committee of the 2019 Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations that took place in the country.
Well, that sports item ends our news bulletin for tonight. My name is Khadija Zimbo. Thank you for watching and good night.
Watch Capital News at 9:30 and get updated on what is happening in Tanzania and around the world on political, social, and economic issues and events, without forgetting business and sports news. You can get it all right here on Capital News at 9:30 from Monday to Friday on Zuku Channel 067, Digitech Channel 1103 and Facebook Capital Television Tanzania.
Sasa unaweza kutangaza biashara yako hapa ITV ukiwa popote Tanzania. Wasiliana na mawakala wetu wa mikoani.
Moshi Boisafi Shopping Center